So, hi everyone, how are you doing? Today we come close to the end of our Tech Savvy camp. I hope it was enjoyable, sweet, and fruitful. Cheer up, don't worry. We'll have a back to school version, inshallah, of this camp soon, maybe at the end of September or October, with a variety of new tools, techniques, and tips to have a better school year for everyone, inshallah. So, today's session is about the Microsoft built-on tool, which is Classpoint. So we will try to sort out what is it and how to use it in our class and what interactivity features does it have. So let's get started. As usual, you go to the classpoint.app, okay, tool, and you insert your PIN code, which is on the top of the screen. I've already copy-pasted that in the chat box, 98413. And try to stay in the Classpoint, because today we will use a lot of activities together. So today, usually I recommend that you log out and you follow me on the Microsoft Teams. Now for tonight, it's a special occasion to use the Classpoint, okay, for the whole session. So I repeat, you go to classpoint.app. Okay, you insert in the code PIN 98413. So I have 4 people. I encourage you more to join in so that you have a taste of what does it look like. So I will wait for a few minutes. We will use it in the middle or at the end, in the practice, in the deep dive session tonight. We will be using Classpoint, so we will not use it as an icebreaker as I used to have in the previous camp sessions. No, tonight we will use it directly in our lesson, how to use it in the middle of your lesson, okay? So let's start with the definition. So using games to supplement learning experiences in the classroom is a wonderful way to re-engage students. Classpoint is a tool integrated into Microsoft PowerPoint to create powerful, interactive, and direct questions right on the lecture slides. So we are using that instantly in your lesson using your PowerPoint, having your PC and using your PowerPoint. Using Classpoint will help teachers build direct interactions with the students to improve the quality of teaching and learning. So we will discover later on, we will explore in the deep dive the features of the Classpoint. Okay, be careful. There is something very important that I would like to mention here is the compatibility of your devices. So before the installation begins, teachers need to make sure their device is Classpoint compatible. So what we should know, Classpoint can be used with Windows 7, 8, and 10, along with Microsoft PowerPoint. It means what version of Microsoft PowerPoint you have in your PC, okay? So PowerPoint 2013, 2016, 2019, and Office, the educational Office, 365 versions. So it works only on these versions. Please try to bear in mind because you will need this information in the forums later. Currently, Classpoint is not compatible with Macs or mobile devices, so unfortunately, you can't use it. Students, yes. Okay, students can play the quiz on their devices. However, you as a teacher, you can't elaborate a lesson using your mobile device. I hope it is understood. Running on iOS or Android. So we still have no version, unfortunately, on the iOS or Android. In addition to that, there is important remark that Classpoint requires the Visual Studio 2010 tools for Office runtime. Maybe some of you perhaps do not know, they are not familiar to the Visual Studio. Simply, it's an integrated development environment, IDE, from Microsoft. And it's used to develop computer programs, the websites, the web apps, the web services, and mobile apps. So make sure to download that to your device before using the Classpoint. I move now to the steps of installation, and I will show you step by step. Okay, first of all, you need the website for sure. Okay, so before installing, you need to download Classpoint to your computer. What do? You simply go to www.classpoint.io. So I don't advise you really to plunge now on that. But later or in the middle of the lesson, if you feel comfortable, you can practice. I want you to follow me first. I think it's better to understand so that you don't really get lost later in the steps. Okay? So I repeat, we go to www.classpoint.io. So this is the website from which you will install your app. After that, what you should do, you have a form. So you should fill out like anything that you will download on your PC, on your device. So it asks you, it requires a lot of filling in information. So you fill out the form, then you click download. Once you've downloaded the app to your Windows device, you can start the installation by double-click, like any other tool, on the Classpoint installer filer. And it is very quick, only a few seconds, and everything, voila, it is set. Once it's installed, you can open your PowerPoint app and you'll see Classpoint right in the toolbar. So after you finish the installation on your PC, there is nothing else to do, just go straight forward to your PowerPoint app. You open your PowerPoint app and it will be detected. Already you will have the Classpoint, okay, in the toolbar. There is nothing to do. I show you here, for example, this is a shot, okay, screenshot from the PC. On the left, you have already the app, okay? So some, if you want measures, privacy measures set in, okay? You accept and you install. This is how it looks on your PC. Right. After that, you should register an account and receive a 6-digit confirmation code. Your account name will show up in the upper left corner of the screen. Sorry, receive, it's reversed, I'm sorry. So I repeat, so here we should register. It means to create an account, our full name, the name of the school, like this. Okay, I try to show you with the highlighter. Just a few minutes. If you don't mind, I will share again. I want to check my Classpoint because I didn't see the highlighter or the laser. Let me check again. If you still see my shared screen, it's okay. If not, please try to write in the chat box. So normally it's working, so let's check what's wrong because I can't see the bar in here. Wait a few minutes, please. So let me check what went wrong. So normally I am online. Try to download to save again my doc. Let's check again if everything is set. Or perhaps it is the network, I don't know. Normally it used to work. Few minutes go. Let me check again this time. Same problem, I don't know. Just let me check again. This is my account. We check the setting for the questions. I've prepared some questions, so let me check the setting here. Maybe something went wrong. So, so everything, sorry, is erased. Few minutes. I don't know what went wrong. So let me check. Or if you want, we will do it together. No problem. So we'll do the questions. It will be a practice. No problem. Saving time. I am improvising for now. Sorry for the inconvenience. So, okay. So where did we start? So let me recap. So as I said, okay, so you after you download the app, okay, you need to create an account. Okay, you need to create an account. So now my account is created. Okay, it will look like that. You see. So here on the top, sign up. You click in that and you enter your name, your school, etc. And few seconds, everything is set. So this is how does it look. You sign up, okay? Here you click on the top, on the left top, okay? So let's say I've created my account now. So I will show you how to work. So what is the interface that we have in the Classpoint? So in slideshow mode, you can see the Classpoint toolbar with annotations and students' interaction tools to support your lessons. The functions of the various buttons on the toolbar are shown as below. So students can type in, can draw, can write their annotations for any lesson, or can take part in quizzes, which is very interactive feature. Okay, so here you have 5 bars, okay? So the first part here, it is already number 1, your account information, your name, for example, in here. If you want to upgrade, which is a premium, okay, paid fee paying. The second one, these are the note-making tools and whiteboard. I start with here, the number of pens, pen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the pens that you can use. You can work on the color, the shape, the size, okay? And in addition to that, you have also a whiteboard feature. You have here 3 whiteboard backgrounds. You can use 3. We will see them later on. Okay. Number 3, I have the interaction tools in which I have the types of questions that I can insert. So let me explain again. You just type in your PowerPoint and in a few seconds, Classpoint will change it, okay, transfer it into a quiz. So you don't need to do something else to go to another browser to make a quiz outside the Classpoint. Classpoint will do the quiz for you. Just you type in your question, your multiple choice, and you tick the correct answer. We'll see that this later on in the practice part, okay? So here you have the multiple choice question. It can vary between 2 to 4 options. You have the word cloud, which is a beautiful, attractive, motivational cloud in which you have, for example, brainstorming activity or icebreaker. You have short answer. Students fill in a short answer, just small paragraph, 2-3 lines about a topic, an idea, an issue. Okay. You have the drawing feature. You draw, or you can use it as highlighter. They underline the correct answer. And the last one is the image upload. Students answer by uploading an image. They don't really write anything at all. They upload an image. Of course, here the inconvenience is that they should have their image already downloaded on their devices, either the PC, the laptop, okay? So the smartphone, so they need to have few images. For example, like in the flipped classroom, students already know what the topic will be. The teacher has prepared something in hand for them, beforehand for them. And when they come to the class, they already know that the lesson will be, for example, about holidays, about, I don't know, types of houses. So they have already downloaded some images. It's better to do that when you are planning to use this feature. So it will be okay for them to follow you and to answer correctly. Number 4, here you have the display option, how you would like to have your presentation. How do you want it to be, to display the class code, to enable the audience slide viewer, etc. And the 5th one is to export as PDF, leaderboard for ranking, and delete option. So here either you could delete, okay, your slides, you could share your lesson as PDF, which is very useful, especially when you are having a revision for your exams and a formative assessment, a lot of multiple questions. So it comes in handy to use it in the class. And if you wanted to be in the competition mode, because you can turn on and turn off. I repeat, you can turn on and turn off the competition mode. So students will play like a simulation in a game, and they will compete, okay, to have a higher score and to share this board as a champion with this beautiful crown and so on. Okay, so that's it for the bar here, the toolbar. Okay, I go to another feature, which is the pen annotations. Students, especially when they are using the tablet, these small devices which comes with a pen. So it's very useful for them, okay, to annotate, to write with the pen, using the pen feature. So pen annotations are a simple yet effective way to help students follow your slides. PowerPoint offers a set of pen tools, and we further improved the user experience for teachers. All annotations tools are located on the toolbar for quick and easy access. So you have different types, different colors, sizes, and shapes. This is an example. So the teacher, this is, for example, a session of maths or science or scientific topic, and the students need to label the parts of the Earth, for example, spheres, or the table in the maths, for example, in which equation, you see? So a variety of use for Classpoint. It's not only for EFL or so. It really caters for every subject. Every teacher can have a special feature that he can implement in his lesson. And I think it's very, very versatile use of this tool. Okay, I come back now to the whiteboard. I already told you that there are 3 types. Okay, so the whiteboards are a great way to further explain your ideas beyond slide presentations. So Classpoint gives you the whiteboard feature and puts it right next to the annotation tools. By default, Classpoint has 3 types. Bear in mind this information, you will need it later. So it has 3 types of background for the board, including a whiteboard, a blackboard, and lined paper background. We'll see that later in the practical part, okay? In the practice, sorry. So you click, you choose, and you want to start your new board page. So you can use the board in the middle of your lesson, using your slides. In addition to the slides, you will understand later how to use it. You can now use the pen tools to draw on the whiteboards the same way you annotate on slides. So students have the ability now to use the pen to write on the whiteboard. So it's an instant teaching method, as if the students are in the class, especially we are talking about remote hybrid learning approach and teaching approach. You can use the whiteboard on multiple and unlimited slides during the presentation. When you exit to return to edit mode, the whiteboards are automatically saved. So I have here, of course, it depends on your setting. If I, for example, save the setting, automatically my whiteboard will be saved as a new slide in my presentation. I can come back later to that at my own pace, check what my students wrote, are they following, etc. So it's very efficient. You can customize the whiteboard background by uploading your own image. So this is also very beautiful and super fun. You can upload your own background for the blackboard, the whiteboard, depends, or setting the current slide as the whiteboard background. These custom whiteboard backgrounds are stored in the cloud, so this is also very important. So if you log into your Classpoint account on another PC, automatically very time saving, okay? You will have them available on your account, so there is no need to panic. Sometimes we are in a hurry, we are squeezing in time, we are working on many devices at school, at home. So I think it's very practical and time saving indeed. So this is the whiteboard, which comes in 3 types, as I said. The whiteboard, the blackboard, and the last one, the lined paper background, as if you are writing on your copybook, on notebooks. So I think it is very, very useful and appealing for students from different ages. So, unlike other teaching platforms, Classpoint doesn't need you to upload your slides to a website or create your quizzes on another, like I said before, and then insert them. No, just Classpoint will directly turn your PowerPoint slides into this game. There is no need, just you type as if you are typing a normal lesson or PDF, okay? A worksheet in English. So into interactive slides using the interactive quiz command button. So here are some examples, okay, of the question. I start with the first one, which is multiple choice. You already played that with me in the previous sessions, and I think it was very fun. So here you can allow selecting multiple choice. It's simply, it means allowing students to choose multiple answers or not. If yes, choose the correct answer in the box next to it. So you just tick the correct answer so that it will be saved automatically. If you have one correct answer, okay, also you can work on the setting. So does this question have any correct answer? If yes, select the correct answer in the box next to it. And we can play on the competition mode. It means to allow time allotted competition like the Kahoot, the quizzes. We have seen that on the first session, if you remember. So I can change my quiz. I can work on my timer to switch it on or off. It depends on you. If I want it to be a simple revision in my class, just a part of my lesson, so I turn it off so that they meditate, they take their time if it is a writing activity. Otherwise, if I want it to be competitive, to be a challenge in the class, so I switch on, okay, to the time. Okay, I put the timer on, so it will be like a game and it will be very competitive, especially when they have the leaderboard feature. Sorry, there is a you. So this is how does it look. Okay, so on the right, on the top right corner, I have the question type. I have already chosen my question type. I can select the number of choices. Do I want my question to have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So it depends. And I have to check other small bars below that. For example, it has a correct answer. Of course, multiple choice, normally we should select a correct answer. If I want it to be on competition mode, this is what I was talking about. So I can put the timer on or off for students. At the same time, I can put the competition mode on or off. So if I want them to work on their self-pace, so it's okay. If I want it to be competitive, so also I put the competition mode. You have also a variety of other questions here. Do I want to start the question with the slide? Do I want to minimize it when the question starts, etc., etc. Okay. So this is the multiple choice question. So let's talk about something very important, which is the pin code. Like you are playing with me now, you are instantly joining my session. So after I finish, I log out of my class, automatically the pin code will change. If I log in after a few hours, few minutes, and start a new lesson, automatically it will change. So be careful. The pin code change for each lesson. It is inserted automatically. Okay, it is generated if you want automatically. So during the slideshow, the automatically generated class code is displayed in the top right corner, like you see. You preview my scene now. It is on the top right corner. Okay, you have the number of students following, and you have the class code. Students can use any device with a browser and access classpoint.app. You see, so it doesn't really require to have a Chrome or window, just they go to Classpoint app, which works on every browser. I think it's very practical, especially for our students. After joining the correct class code and name, students will be able to join the class and interact with your slides. They answer, provide feedback through the annotations, etc. So, when the teacher clicks the multiple choice button, a question slide will be sent to each student on his device with the answers, and they start, okay, clicking just on the right answer, bearing in mind the time they already have for each question. So As students submit their answers, the graph will update itself live. So I will have a graph as a teacher. I can share it with the rest of the class. At the bottom, you can see the number of responses you've received. At the bottom of my screen, my slides, I can see how many students took part in my question, in my session, in my slide. And there is a timer that counts down students' response times. You can minimize this dialog to view your slides, but the chart will stay open and automatically update the results. After the question is closed, the teacher can view the activity log and display the correct or incorrect answer to the whole class. So I finished my lesson. I can show them the correct and incorrect, how they did. I can here, of course, keep the names or have the anonymity feature, which is very, very important sometimes in our class to motivate the inhabited students. So this is how it appears. I have a question, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 5 answers, multiple choice. And I have the number, okay, of students for each answer. This is how it shows on your slides. Each student participating in the session will have their name behind one of these randomly arranged boxes. Now I am talking about another feature, which is pick a name. So here you have a list of small squares in which you have names of your students, and it is reversed. I can't see the names, I can see only the colors. I click on one of them randomly, and I choose the student whom I want to speak, to answer, to participate. So I think it's very, very exciting feature. If you want to have this fair equality in our class, not to work only with brilliant, smart students. So you pick randomly, you choose randomly, or also I can use it sometimes in my class, which is very fun, to have them to categorize them into groups. Let's say we are having a writing activity, and I want each group to have a part, some of them to start the introduction, some of them to give me the first argument, the second, the group, etc., etc. So I told them all the names on the first column, they will, for example, write on the introduction. In the second column, etc., etc. So I think it's very fun. Sometimes you work in groups using the pick a name feature. So when you want to select one or more students to answer your question, simply click a box to display the name behind it. You can use this tool to add more excitement to your class and will definitely help your students stay more focused during class because, oh my God, it's my turn. So everyone is really excited and afraid at the same time that you pick his name and he will answer and he will participate. So I think it's very super cool. If you want to shuffle the student's name and start over, just click reset. Let's say you finished your lesson, you still have your slides on, and you have another class. So just you reset, okay, to erase everything and to have the names all over again. So I think it's very, very practical and time saving. So this is the pick your name feature, very fun. You have a lot of colors. Like I said, let's say the group number 1 will be the first column. Okay, these 4 students will work in group number 1, the second column with the 4 students number 2, etc., etc. And I assign a different activity to each group. So I think it's very, very useful. Okay, let's deep dive now in our lesson. I will pause for a few seconds first to check your questions, okay, in the chat box. If you have anything which is not clear, I hope it's okay. Otherwise, we will continue. As far as I see, it's fine so far. So, okay, I've prepared an activity for you. So I will come back here. Follow me. So I typed, you see, I typed my question. I typed the multiple choices. I've chosen 4 options. I've added some images if you want to be more appealing, more attractive. And I will give you a trick how to have images here in this way, very attractive, to use the transparency tool when you are searching the browser. I go on the top right corner on here. So the question type, anytime I would like to change, I come here. So I have a variety. If I want it to be a word cloud, short answer, slide drawing, image upload. Or similarly, I go to my ink note. Let me explain that first, I forget. So this is my first page, okay, on my PowerPoint. I've opened my PowerPoint. If you want, let's do it again. I will close this. I will save my work and I come back. So here I have a PowerPoint presentation prepared with my slides of today's session. I click on that, few seconds, my PowerPoint is ready to be used. Simply, where do I go? On the top, you see, like the normal PowerPoint that we are using, just what is new on my PowerPoint after installing my app is the Ink Note Classpoint. So this is how it appears in your PC, in your slides. I click on that, and I have this variety I was talking about. So this is my account. Okay, you can change your picture, your basic information, everything. The sector here, it means what do you teach? K-12, higher education, corporate. Upgrade if you want to buy, okay, it's a premium feature. The organization, so everything is set. This is if I want to upgrade, contact them. Next, I have the variety of pens. As I said, I click on here, I can work on my color. You see, so very fun and super easy to use. Of course, here, because it's you have a lot of paid features you have for the free account, only 3. You see, I can't use them. I think I can't use, or I can use it. Good. Okay. Next, I have the whiteboard background. I click on that and I have already the 3 options that I talked about, the whiteboard, the blackboard, and the lined paper, the ruled paper. So you click, let's say I want to click on that, on 3 dots. You know, there is a problem with today. Okay. No, it's not working. So I move on. So here I have the types of questions that I want to add. Multiple choice. We will come to them one by one. The word cloud, the short answer, the slide drawing, and the image upload. This is how I want to display, okay, the displaying features, okay. Uh, these are extra feature in which you can delete, you can share, you can have the leaderboard. I click on here, for example, and I have the leaderboard. It will be saved, by the way, on my slides. If I wanted competition, I have ended, so it will be saved in here. Okay, so I come back to my slide in which I have the question, the first question. I click on that, you see. As I said, I have typed my question. I have added appealing pictures, okay. And now I have the number of choices. So here I have 4, you see. If you have a question with more than one correct answer, you allow selecting multiple and you select, is it A, B, B, C? It depends, okay? For me here, no, I have only one answer correct, okay? And I have already selected, let me check. It is B, okay. Now I move to the play option. Do I want to start the question with slide? I don't usually use that because I want to explain to my students few seconds. Sometimes it is ambiguous. It's hard to get them if you want to engage at the beginning of the lesson. If it is an icebreaker, they are coming from the break, still noise outside, etc. So it's better not to use that. You are free, of course. You can start automatically with your slide. So you don't have much control on that. No, for me, I want to have some control to explain for my students, okay? And then I click to start by myself, okay? Here, if you want to minimize the result window, you can click on that. For me, I want to show it to you, okay? And here, if I want to switch off the timer, I want it to be a reflection on their on their learning. I want it to be a small writing activity, so I don't really put it on. If I want it to be, I am having few minutes, I need to have only few minutes since it is an icebreaker or a feedback, etc. So I am free to tick this one, to put it on, and I have the freedom to choose the time allocated from 15 seconds to 5 minutes. Usually try to have it not very, if you want, short, not very long. So minimum 31. If it is writing, I think 2 minutes. Of course, they are writing short or jotting down ideas, not a complete paragraph. So it depends on your choice, what you have in mind, your objectives. Let's say I want it 1 minute here. And here to view the responses, okay, of the students. Here, if I have finished with my first slide. Okay. So I will show you all the questions, and then you will try to play it on your devices to check if it is okay. My second question here, it is a word cloud. So here I have chosen from the bar, from the top or on my right. Okay. If here, this is very important in your class, if I want to limit the number of submission, if I want to make it open, it's okay, but I think it's very exhausting for our students to give them more than 2 or 3. Sometimes they get really bored. They are, I don't know, they don't have the patience as we used to be in our classes. So let's make it short as much as you can, and let's make it, if you want, just let's say 2 or 3, do not exceed that. It's better. You will see later how it works and you will understand more. Here, if I want to start similarly the question with slide, now I want to show it to you. I want to take a look at the result. And here, similarly, if I want to put the time on, the timer on or off. So let's say here I want it to be a competition. Okay, so this is my second question. Simply, super simple, I typed my question. I added the type, okay, of the question that I have on my Classpoint, and I will wait for the results. So I think it's very super fun and super practical. You don't need to create another extra quiz or external quiz. Everything is done here in the Classpoint, in our PowerPoint, okay? Of course, you need a network to work on that. Be aware of that also. Okay, I've chosen here a third question to upload an image of your favorite fruit. As I said, here it's recommended that you ask your students before coming to class about the topic of next session. We will be talking about fruits, clothes, seasons, weather, so that they download few images that comes in handy when using this activity. If I wanted here to hide the participant names when viewing the response, that's okay. If it will be graded, scored for me, I want to show, or just I'm curious to check if you want who took part, who was serious, etc. So it depends on you. The play option, similarly, it's the same, so I will not come again to that. Okay. So I have 3 types of questions. I finished, of course, make sure to save your whole work on here. And let's check if it is working. So I come directly to my first question in here. And you see, normally when I've chosen the first option, so it will open, it will pop up automatically. So sometimes it's inconvenient. You are still talking to your students, you are still initiating them to the activity. So for me personally, I don't take that. I prefer that to have more access, more control in my class, like I do now. So I explain. So this is my question for you. Which of the following is not a fruit? So you see, you can highlight different colors to, if you want, guide them in how to answer, especially for young learners. So here we have a list. With the pictures, you have the mango, the lettuce, the apricot, and the plum. So I want you to answer. I have already a few attendees, okay, in the Classpoint.app. I repeat again for those who would like to take part. You go to the classpoint.app. We have it already in the chat box. And you have the pin code 98413. I repeat, you go to the classpoint.app. And if you want, I will write it again. I prefer that you took part now. Okay, you take part so that you understand how you can work on that. So classpoint.app. And you have the code, which is 98413. So I will wait, if you want, few extra seconds, not minutes, and we'll get started. Okay. So I repeat here. So my first question is a multiple choice. I've typed a normal, ordinary question, like a quiz, any multiple choice that we get to have on our worksheets in our classes with our students. The only difference, it is here a quiz, a live quiz in my slide. And of course, I should click on the correct answer when I am preparing my question. So let's get started. I click on that and you can answer now, okay, by clicking, okay. Already I have someone or some people who answered, very good. Here I come to the top right corner, I click. Let me turn off the music so that you can hear me. The live status. Very good. I have the people, okay, the students, for example, who submitted, who already answered. So I make sure that they took part. Let me check the pending students who didn't answer, for example. You see, so this is, I think, very, very important. So here I have the names of my students in the live status, those who answered and those who are still waiting or thinking or just writing their answer. So I think it's very important to track, if you want, our teaching, our classes. Okay, if I want to. So I finished with my first question. If I want to save that for review later, I can save it for review. Or if I wanted to insert it as a slide, so it will be a new slide in my PowerPoint. Let's try with this. So I save it. I view responses, you see, and I have it already saved on my slide. If I want to restart my game, why not? If I want now to insert results as a new slide, if sometimes you need it, I click on that and you see, I have it as a slide. I can delete it. I can, sorry, because I can't see the toolbar today, but normally you can have your toolbar. Okay, so you can delete it, you can save it, etc. Okay. The second question now, okay, what is your favorite fruit? So here it is writing, okay, it is a cloud. You will see a beautiful cloud of different words submitted by students. So choose randomly. Of course, we have limited, if you remember that, to 3, I think, or 3 or 2 options. I think it was 2 or 3 options. So you will have blank space on your devices in which you will type, be careful, you type the first one and then you have another space and the word add. So you add the second one, you do not submit, it is submitted automatically. So let's try. Okay. So similarly, I will check the responses, people who wrote and people who didn't, who are pending. So here you are asked to write the name of your favorite fruit. So it's still collecting responses. You have 1 minute. Very good. I have already people. Let me check the live status. Well done. Excellent. So these are the names of attendees, Miss Shaima, etc. Very good. Yes. Well done. Perfect. So imagine you are working with 24 or 23, or I don't know, a great number of students. It will be fascinating, super exciting and appealing to them. Especially if you are having an icebreaker or brainstorming activity in your class, so try to give it a try, okay? So I close my submission here. So, and at the top, you see, at the top here, at the top corner, I have the number of people who took part. So this is very, very practical. Similarly, I can save it for review. I can highlight the top answer. It means the answer that was written more than once. This is very important, for example, to check the learning progress of your students, if there are some ambiguities, etc. So I think it's very, very useful and time saving as well. Okay, the third option, I've chosen a drawing. Here you will only underline, okay, the correct answer. So here, to grow fruits need, what do they need? Do they need water, darkness, heat, or air to grow? So you have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 options. You underline from these. To grow, no, sorry, it should be on the first. There was a repetition of the word, I'm sorry. So I repeat, here you will underline. Attendees, students should underline the correct answer. So it's also very useful in your class. For example, underline the odd one out if you are working on vocabulary, on synonyms. If you are working on parts of speech, underline the verb in these words, and you give them a collection of, for example, nouns and a verb inserted in that. So there is a variety, a huge variety, unlimited, okay, possibilities to use it in your class. So give it a try now. Okay, so you will underline things that fruits need to grow. As you see, I've chosen very simple questions so that you understand the topic, the techniques, the strategies to use the class points. So you are free, of course, in your classes according to your topic. Okay, this is how it looks, you see? So I have the answers for each student. So here I should click on each one alone. This is what is different in the drawing feature. So you have different slides. You see, it comes as slides of other students. Let's, for example, take a look at the slide of Miss Shaima. I can like it. I can download it as a slide. I can delete it. And I do the same with the rest of my attendees, of my students. So I will choose, for example, the second one, Miss Sanat. Similarly, I can click on these three icons, or just I click here to show, I zoom in to show, okay, the slide. So these are the answers of your students, and you can save them later for revision if it is scored graded activity. Well done, perfect, thank you for taking part. Okay, I finished with the last type, which is to upload an image of your favorite fruit. First of all, I will give you a few seconds because we didn't plan for this activity. I know that you don't have really images on your devices about fruits. I'm certain about that. We have about our families, ourselves. So try to download any web image of a fruit, and then I will give you the chance to experiment with this feature. So try to look out, okay, for any fruit that you like, okay? Download it in your device so that you will be able later to show how students will do the same procedure as you. So I will give you a few seconds. So let's recap. So here we have different types of questions. We have the multiple choice, in which you can turn on or off the timer. You can turn on or off the competition mode with a very attractive leaderboard with names of students, the winner, the champion, okay, with this beautiful cap. Also, you can have the cloud feature, the cloud question, which is very useful and practical for our icebreaker, for our brainstorming activity. Also, you can have the drawing feature, which is very fun, I think, to be used, tried by students. And last but not least, we have the image upload. I hope that a few of you have already succeeded in doing that. So let's get started. So you have the question in your devices. Similarly, it will be sent to the teacher. It will be shown as different slides. It will be sent like the drawing question. So here, after you download your image and you submit your answer, the teacher can preview the slides of students, the different slides. So let me check here, for example, the live status. I still have no one submitted. I have 8 pending answers. I have Miss Kauthar. Well done, excellent. Wow, wonderful. Miss Kauthar succeeded in showing us her favorite fruit, which is the strawberry. Good. Similarly, I have the 3 options in here, either to like it, to download it, or to delete it. On the bottom here, the corner, I have the number of students who are taking part in this activity. I have the timer, which she's about to finish. And similarly, I can save for review or insert results as a slide. So I click on that. I show the rest of the class, each other's, for example, answers, and that's it. So this is for this question. Let's say I want to add extra questions. I will show you here. For example, I have a blank slide. Okay. Let's say I am having a lesson about seasons, about weather, about clothing, etc. And I want to highlight this vocabulary in my lesson using the quiz. So my first question, of course, I should identify the type of the question in my head before starting. So let's say I want to have a multiple choice. Voila, it is set. I've chosen. And let's say I want the number of choices 3. Okay, let's agree on a question before moving. So, of course, here you insert your text zone and you start typing. So let's say which is not related to summer. Let's say I'm teaching young students a lesson about seasons weather. So I will provide here different answers for them that they will choose from. Okay, so that's it for my question. I will come back to the images before, and then we will try to type the name. So here, for example, I should do that, of course, or either I search the browser, which sometimes take more time. So I prefer to have my files that I use in my lessons beforehand. So I don't really waste too much time. So I've prepared here some files. Okay, let's say now I am talking about the weather. I've prepared 3 pictures, the rain, the sun, and the wind. And I will use them. So I select, and I insert my images. I resize them, reshape them. So I have a very appealing question. If you want to work, you have, for example, a class which you feel is really inhibited or visual learners. Why not working on images? Sometimes I use that even with older students. I have to motivate them in a way or another. So sometimes I just use images instead of vocabulary, and I think it's very appealing to them. So this is A, this is B, and this is C, and they will answer the multiple choice as if it is a normal question, even though it is the use of visuals only. So try to be creative on that. Okay, let's say I have already everything set. I will now type in the questions. So I take a zone of my text. And I write the names, I label these visuals. So I have, of course, I should identify this is answer A, okay, which is sun. Answer B, which is wind. And answer C, which is rain. Okay, Let me check again my questions. I work on my font, my colors. Do I want it to be? I have few problems with my keyboard today. I don't know what's wrong. So I want it to be visible. They are able to read it. Okay, so let's review what we type it in and check if it is true. Okay, multiple choice, check, correct. Number of choices, 1, 2, 3, check. Use of my visuals to be more appealing, check. Allow selecting, no, it has only correct answer. So which is not related to summer. I have two here. So let's say allow selecting. So it will be wind, okay, and rain. I finished. So of course I should click on this one. Okay, and it is B and C. If I want to be a competition, let's do it. So you see, it will be with this icon of the cup here. Okay. Right. As I said before, I don't want to start the question. I want to have it independently. I don't want to minimize the result. I want to share it with the whole class. And for the time, I want it to be on, okay, more competitive. So I finished with my first question. Okay, I come to another slide. Similarly, I go to my ink note. Please tell me if you are following. If there are some questions, interrupt me and be my guest. Ask anything, please, so that you are not lost in the practice. Okay, let's say I wanted a question in word cloud format. Okay, what comes to me here? Please note in the basic plan, only the first 5 question buttons will be available. It means since it is free account, I have only 5. Let's check how many questions did we have. I have already 1 question with you, 2 questions. Let me check again. Now this is the answer. I will delete it to count correctly. So we had this question, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5. This is the free account. It allows you only to 5. That's great news, by the way, because we used to have only 3. Last year I was working on that, and unfortunately I have only 3. I struggled a lot in my class, so sometimes we just answer orally. They raise their hands in the very traditional classical way. So thank God, luckily we are having 5 now. So I think it's great news to have 5. We used to have 3 before 2022. Okay, so I will stop here since, or let's show you how does it look if you have a question that cannot really be in the class. So, okay, I will type my question, though I'm still able to type, but I can't have the participation of my students. Okay, so I will type in my question in here. So let's say, what is your favorite season, for example? Of course, you can make it a longer question, just it's a try now, we are trying. So I can apply the setting, but as I said, I can't really have that online with my students. Let's say I want to limit for 1 answer, okay, and the close submission after 1 minute. Everything is set in motion. I click on the save button on my slides, of course, this is very important. And let's check. Let's close and reopen everything again and check how does it look like, our slides with the newly added questions. I hope the explanation was clear and simple to follow. If you have any questions, as I said, you ask me. So I will go quickly over all of them. Okay, so I think we started from here. So which is not related to summer? I click on multiple choice. And similarly, I will wait for your answer. So no one has submitted yet, and I have 8 pending answers. So let's check. What is your favorite season? This was the question. Huh? Which is not related to summer? Is it A, B, C? So normally you have it on your devices. Well done. I have already some answers. Very good. I can check the live status, the people who submitted their answers, and those who are still pending. Excellent. Very good. Well done. Yes. I have already 5 students who submitted their answers. So normally I still wait for 3 in my class, for example, if I am in the class. And the time is about to finish. Okay, I finished. Since I have added the leaderboard, I can check my leaderboard and I have the champion in my class. So I think it's very motivational in your class. I think it's very fun. If I want to insert the result, if this will be graded, scored, okay. If I want it to be in a table, perfect. You see, variety of options, the score, the number of correct questions, the participation. So I think it has really amazing features. Okay, I close this question. Let's move to the next question. You see, I can't work on that because I have only 5 questions. So this is how does it look. But normally I cheat on them. How do I do in my class? I have here, unfortunately today I have some problems with my keyboard. I don't know. Usually we have this toolbar. You used to have that with me in the previous sessions. So I click on my pick a name and I have the names of my students and I click on every random name to assign him to answer. So it's very practical. You just pick a name, okay? And the student that you have chosen will answer a question. So don't worry, you can type in as many questions as you want to in your slides. And if you have exceeded your free account number, that's okay. You can use the pick a name feature. I think it's very, very useful. So that's it for today's session. I will send you now the Google Forms and I will be waiting. Just one trick or tip if you want before leaving. Let's say I am working, for example, on a lesson. If you have any suggestions, please write to me on the chat box because I don't know. Let's say for traditional food. Let's say a lesson about traditional food. Okay, so I advise you to have a transparent image. Simply you go to your tool, okay, you click on that. I think many of you already know that. For those, it's an opportunity to explore, to discover something new. You go to the color and you check the transparent. So on the research, I will have only the transparent food. So this is very beautiful feature because later on my slides, as you've seen it with the fruits, it was very, very neat and very clear. So I download it, let's say here. And I will show you how does it look. I click on that. You see, very fun and super, super appealing and attractive to students in the slides. Better than having these very, I don't know, not really appealing, okay, picture. Okay, something else. Let's say I am looking for the weather like I did before. The sun, or let's say the sun. How did I look for the sun? Usually, I prefer to add the word cartoon because if I write only the sun, I don't really have great options. You see, how do I teach 10-year-old students or 12-year? I don't know. I think I should look for something attractive for them, appealing to them. So I type cartoon with anything, believe me, even with the 4th graders. I type the word cartoon and I think it's much easier. Similarly, I go to the tool I click on color and I choose transparent. And here I have my sun. You see, make sure it is transparent. And I click and I download it. Okay, it's web. I can't. Let me check another one. Make sure, as I said, it is transparent. So let's, I don't know. I don't think it's transparent for this one because already you see the background is very, very light. This is how you understand it is transparent. So similarly, it's web. So anyway, so this is a way, I think it's a trick how to search for your images to be appealing for your students. Let me check with your chat box. Thank you, Miss Sana. Yes, I hope the information was very, very useful. As I promised, inshallah, maybe by the end of September, October, we will have a back to school version of this camp. And you will, inshallah, discover a lot of tools, not only tools, but techniques and tips to make, if you want, your class more motivating, to save your time, to, if you want, about your stress, how to get rid of the burnout, SEL, the social emotional learning in our sessions, a lot of innovative, inshallah, ideas. So I will wrap up my session. Thank you for your coming. Thank you for your attendance from the beginning of the camp. It was a great pleasure to having you. Heartfelt thanks to Miss Sana, who really was kind enough and hospitable to let me lead me in the path of these sessions. Without her, this could not be possible anymore or anyway. Thank you for your coming, and I hope it was very useful in your classes, inshallah, in this year. So I will stop the recording, and I will wish you all a great night.